I'm Leila Popolyazdi. I'm a garbologist, and I'm going to explain how archaeology can help us to improve our economy and save more. Many people think that archaeology studies ancient monuments and civilization. It is true, but it's only part of the reality. Archaeology is a discipline which studies, documents, and classify artifacts and the things that we, as human beings, produce, use, and dump. So it can be applied to study anything from any time. There is a big subfield of archaeology, which is called the archaeology of contemporary past. The archaeologists of contemporary past study genocides, political conflicts, mass graves, poverty, homelessness, loneliness, prisons, or urban areas, and waste disposal, and many, many, many other things. The branch of archaeology which studies waste and garbage, it is called garbology, or the archaeology of garbage. Garbology was pioneered by Professor William Rosche in 1970s. Rosche had an idea. He thought that the techniques and methodologies of archaeology could be used to have a better understanding of behaviors towards waste disposal and also the expansion of landfills and mass consumption. So one of the very first projects that he had was called Backdoor Front Door. He and his team member used to knock on the doors of residents and houses and interview the people. And at the same time, some of the team members opened the garbage bags and checked the material culture in those garbage bags and also document them. One of the very important results of that project was that most people forget about the things that they have consumed. Even that consumption, was very recently, but still they had no recollection of their purchase and consumption. So we can say that our memories are not very reliable in this case. For example, just imagine that you are asked, what did you eat for dinner last night? So some of us remember, some don't. But if we are asked, what did you eat, for lunch last Tuesday? I mean, most people, they don't have any recollection. And worse, if we are asked, what did you buy last month? So we should think a lot, or we should check our mobile phone or receipts, or the money we have spent on groceries, or the things we have bought. So if we just think about it more accurately, it means that we forget about the things that we have spent money on. When we buy something, it means that we are paying for that. So it's the very easy thing, every person knows it. But usually we don't consider that when we are discarding and dumping things. Studies and experiences show that 1/3 of the things, like 30% of the things that we buy, are being discarded, even without being touched. So I can just give you an example. Just imagine that there is a family and they buy 6 apples and 6 oranges. After a while, they just discard 2 of these oranges and 2 of these apples because they think it's bad or rotten. And it doesn't mean only that they are making, lots of garbage, but it also means that the money that they have spent on these things, is being wasted. So it means that they are putting their, money in the garbage bin. So if we want to improve, our economy, if we want to save more, we should think about all these things. And garbology can be very helpful in this case. Usually we start our study or services with asking the people or businesses or industries or municipality about their consumption routine. We usually want to check it later. So we have this before after thing. The next step is to open the garbage bags in the case of households or small businesses, and to survey the landfills in the case of municipality, or illegal landfills in the case of cities or some municipalities. And then we document and we classify all the garbage we observe. For example, when we open these garbage bags, we classify the still edible food in one category, and then the peels or all those things that, had no other way but to be put in the garbage bin in the other category. Or about the clothing, about the t-shirts, about the shoes, we put them, in these 2-3 categories. About the businesses or the landfills, we do the same thing, but our methodology is a little bit different, and the scale that we use. So we sometimes classify, the landfills based on the aerial photos, for example. Okay. After that, we have another source, and this source is receipt, for example, or the money you have spent on something, or it can be in the case of municipality or businesses, all the things that they have bought in 1 year, or it can be all the documents they have in their archives about purchase and sale and the other things. So we put all these things together, we analyze them, and then based on a timeline, we create and recreate a consumption routine. So we check it, the shortcomings, the flaws, and the positive sides of that. And then we discuss with the customer or the people who are involved in the study. So we show them, the figures and the tables, and we just tell them how they can improve their consumption routines. In some cases, we can also create a consumption plan for those people. We help them to bring back this, edible food or the still usable things to their pockets. It's good for sustainability, for environmental sustainability, and for economic sustainability. So we can save more based on this. Okay, so the answer to the first question I asked is yes. Archaeology can help us to improve our economy and to save more. And to explain that, I said that, okay, garbology can be very helpful in this case. And to know more about it, you can just read this book, which is called Rubbish, The Archaeology of Garbage. It's not a very hard book. It's easy to read, and it's a very interesting read, especially the last chapters in which Roschi and Murphy, they have recommendations for societies and for people how to reduce the amount of waste and to improve their economy. There are other books as well that show that there is a link between poverty and waste disposal. So in some countries that there are big landfills, there are poor people. I have discussed about this in our last video in this channel. One of the books that I would like to recommend is this book, Rubbish Belongs to the Poor, which has been written by the anthropologist Patrick O'Hare, and He has studied and lived with some communities who are collecting garbage. And based on this, he could actually tell us more about landfills and how these things are influential are on economy and also environment. Garbology can help us to improve sustainability on different scales, and also for working classes and middle classes, it can be very helpful to save more. Garbology cannot, I don't want to claim that a garbology can postpone poverty. No, it's not, unfortunately, impossible, because poverty, is being created based on many factors that we cannot control some of them. For example, inflation, it's not the thing that actually we can control as just people or researchers. But one of the things that we can improve is our control over our own habits and behaviors. We can be more aware about the habit of buying things when we don't need them, or we can be more aware about the amount of food we waste when they are still edible. Or we can improve our knowledge about like bad food or rotten food, and just prevent sending lots of food which are still edible to the landfill. So if you need more information about this, if you want to improve your own economy or the economy of your business, or you want to raise your awareness about the consumption routine, we can just book an appointment with our experts in Garbonomix, and it's completely free of charge. We will meet and we will speak about your consumption routine, and we try to discover its positive and negative sides. And finally, we can have some recommendations about that. Okay, so it was for today. Thank you very much, and see you soon next week.